The science of silage acids, what they reveal about your fermentation. Hi everyone, Ryan Duffy from Precision Microbes, and welcome to our Silage Sessions video campaign. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments section below this video. So what we're going to do now is we're going to actually have a deep dive into the main acids found on silage reports, namely lactic acid, acetic acid, and butyric acid. Getting the balance right with these is absolutely key. Lactic acid is the main preservation acid found on your silage reports. Its production is mainly driven by homofermentative lactic acid bacteria, as they're the most efficient at producing this acid. Long story short, if you want good silage fermentation and ideal nutrient preservation, we need lactic acid in high concentrations. Homofermentative lactic acid bacteria produce twice as much lactic acid from glucose and 6 times as much lactic acid from fructose in comparison to their heterofermentative counterparts. They're just heads above other microbes in terms of efficiency. Remember, glucose and fructose are the 2 main sugars found in our crops after all. So we want lactic acid to make up between 65 and 80% of the total acids present in our clamps and our bales. So this is where silage additives really help. For us to achieve this high level of lactic acid, we're going to need well-sealed clamps or well-wrapped bales to exclude oxygen. We need to have a good source of simple sugars, which should be present in ample amounts in young rapidly growing grass that we typically make silage from. And we need the right lactic acid bacteria populations and the right proportions of the lactic acid bacteria, i.e. homofermentative versus heterofermentative. So now on to acetic acid, the second one. This is predominantly produced by heterofermentative bugs, with a smaller proportion actually coming from homofermentative bugs when they use pentose sugars. It's a slightly weaker acid compared to lactic acid, and therefore doesn't drop the pH as well, so bad bugs can actually live in this level of acid. So if acetic acid is too high, it indicates a slow fermentation, driven by a slower and less efficient homo or heterofermenters. On your reports, you may see high pH in conjunction with high acetic acid. So we need to get the levels right. We should be aiming for in and around 20% of our silage acids being made up of acetic acid. On the other hand, it is quite effective in dealing with aerobic spillage once the clamp has been opened. Now on to our final one, butyric acid. It's not so friendly. In an ideal world, we would want the level of butyric acid to be practically zero. Its presence indicates wet, underfoot conditions at harvest, soil contamination, the presence of bad bugs, be that from soil or be it from slurry, and poor fermentation. It's leading to quite foul smelling silage and lower nutritive values, as it's often associated with protein breakdown. It's also associated with poor palatability and subsequently poor intakes, and naturally enough that leads on to lower animal performance. So in recap, we want high levels of lactic acid, as this indicates good preservation of your crop. We're aiming for 65 to 80% of total acids. We want about 20% of our total acids being made up of acetic acid, and we want practically zero butyric acid in our clamps and in our bales. Getting this balance right is key to protect the nutrients in your harvested grass. So homofermentative silage additives like that within the Precision Microbes product portfolio can actually help the good bugs dominate the bad bugs. And that's going to offer some reassurance that when you open your clamp or bales next year, you will have experienced a favourable microbial fermentation process. So thanks again for viewing. If you have any questions, please throw them in the comments section below.